Booby traps and danger around every bend. With Nate and his dad, the adventure never ends. From the pyramids to the deepest jungle green, lost cities of gold, sights unseen, dusty tombs and treasures that gleam. They're living the life like an 80s dream alive. Hey now, Nate, let's start the engine, chasing relics, father, son stride. Hey now, Nate, ancient legends, globetrot myths, let's take that ride. Incan temples, desert sands, cryptic clues in foreign lands.
Howdy, members of what I assume is our dedicated fan base. Welcome to part 6 of our explorations in Jordan. In today's episode, we are finally exploring Petra. I'm sure the anticipation has been terrible, but the wait is over at last. So come along with me, and I'll try my best to do this properly.
Excuse me, that machine is what for? This machine is what for? This machine is for what?
Tickets.
This ticket? Like this? This better with you.
She asked.
Should we use the gate next time?
Maybe.
Thank you, sir. See our tomb over here?
I've been eyeballing it for the last couple of minutes. As we approached the Siq that first day, I could already tell that we needed more time to explore than we had given ourselves.
Welcome to the Siq.
But it wasn't until later that I realized just how much more time we would really need. I believe we got the moment on camera. I'll point it out when we get there. Now, I know my dad covered a lot of Petra's history in part 5, but did you know that there used to be a Roman arch right at the start of the Siq? It collapsed in 1896, and there are no known photos, but the sketches of early explorers are enough to make the mind wander. And if you know where to look, what to look for, you can just about see it there. One among so many pieces of history in Petra, lost to time in all but name. It makes you wonder what else has been lost with no record to recover. How much have we forgotten that we may never recall? But I digress. If you want the sorrowful philosophical discussion, leave a comment and I'll dedicate a whole video to it. For now, let's stay on topic. As we walked those last few feet of the Siq towards the treasury, I was worried, much like my dad, that the experience wouldn't have as profound an effect on me as it did him. When I say I had nothing to worry about, it is an understatement. The sensation is hard to describe, but it's akin to the feeling you get when some external stimulus brings back memories of playing outside as a child. The sudden, frightening realization that you had forgotten such simple pleasures could exist, followed immediately by the resolve to reclaim them. No set plan for the day, so after a bit of wandering we decided to explore the street of Facades, vertically. At the start of our climb to the second level, we met this young donkey whom I named Camel. He was very sweet, and he definitely would have come with us if he'd been able to make the climb.
Yeah. I wonder if it's...
1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa.
4 more shafts. Children.
Want me over here? I know. It's all good.
Boom, right there. Overlooking the street of Facades and the amphitheater and the whole tomb complex on the right. That's when I realized that I would need at least 6 months of exploration to feel like I had seen everything.
I would appreciate it if you would pretend sword fight me just for a second, because I can't imagine a more satisfying place. Yeah, that was good.
We went to great lengths to obscure the location of this tomb. We even put the footage out of sequence so its general surroundings can't be guessed. This may seem strange, but this tomb is precious, and if you listen, you'll understand why.
I mean, in
Did you hear it? That hollow sound means that, hidden under a blanket of windswept sand, a shaft tomb remains sealed.
That, I don't know, that means the world to me.
Yep.
I guess that makes sense as an anthropologist.
Record it.
Just as the tomb has protected its secret through millennia of earthquakes, wars, and ever-destructive human habitation, so too do we. But that doesn't mean you can't watch. About halfway through our first day, we found ourselves at the only official cafe within the site. Fun fact, this was my first time drinking from an old-style pull-tab soda can. I didn't even know they still made those.
They just That's weird. I gotta say, Mama's trekking pole is holding up pretty well out here in the wadi. For context, while you're watching later, I just climbed down a hole in the courtyard of the Teatron. Holy shit, this goes.
It was never clear if I was allowed in here, strictly speaking, but there are tombs full of goat poop and stuff, so I think this is probably fine. It doesn't really matter anyway. This tunnel only went a few dozen meters in either direction before collapses sealed it off from the rest of the system. This structure is called the Great Temple, but it was almost certainly an administrative building rather than a religious one.
I think you were probably right that it used to be a water channel. Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah. That means you gotta get up on stage though. Gotta make sure that the steps are accessible from whatever angle.
Originally, the seating in this smaller amphitheater climbed to easily twice its current height. Sadly, this is all that remains.
Down in front. Oh man. You see, this kind of thing, this is why ghosts always seem like they're going through walls. Or like floating off into the air, because they're just walking on the building that they remember. Yes, I do. How the hell do we get to this arch? The one you're standing on, bro.
Wrapping up our first day, we returned to our room at the Petra guest house, before going down to the hotel bar, which happens to be built into a Nabatean tomb. As we drank our beers, we discussed the morality of doing so in someone's grave. We concluded that, since many Nabatean tombs are equipped with triclinia to facilitate feasting with the departed, any ancient spirits potentially inhabiting this tomb-turned-bar are probably pretty stoked to have company all the time.
This is fucking crazy.
On day 2, we didn't even make it to the Siq. We spent the whole day exploring the remains of the water management system and surrounding points of interest like the Eagle Monument, and we definitely didn't spend the second half of the day resting in our comfy air-conditioned hotel room because we pushed ourselves too hard on the first day. No, we certainly didn't do that. And before you ask, no, I will not explain why the footage for day 2 is so short.
Here's the shot. Kinda.
Oh, I should get some 360 up here. Wow, it's still really well detailed. Wow, it's really small. There's no niches, there's no shaft. I don't know what this was. That's a cool view though. You just don't have the direct sun. Awesome.
Okay. I'm very tired. But I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm definitely doing better than I was yesterday, dear God.
Hell yeah, bro.
Let's rock.
Okay.
Would you believe we didn't enter Petra through the Siq on this day either? It's true. For day 3, we decided to go explore al-Madras, a suburb of Petra, before hiking over top to the High Place of Sacrifice. We also spent plenty of time examining the water management system. It's just so well designed, you gotta stop and appreciate the ingenuity every once in a while.
Yeah, the shadow's still really nice here. silt trap. So they pure water into there. Yeah. Here, hold on. Yeah, I'll come up. Feeling okay. Plus, makes for a cool shot. Yeah, it is. So those ones were leading the water to that cistern right above it, actually right above the silt trap. Yep. We thought we saw an opening from far off. So I figured I'd come check it out. Yeah. Party spot, I guess. This is strange. I have no idea. No idea. I was hoping we would be able to go straight across. Down and back up. I'm not going without seeing it.
On our way to the high place, we learned that when all the guidebooks say you need to hire a guide to get there, it remains true regardless of how hardcore you think you are. We didn't get lost per se, we just didn't know how to get where we were going. Luckily for us, a guide appeared right as we were preparing to give up and backtrack. I hope it's not rude to say, but I think he may have been a Jinn. I didn't make it to the high place myself as I was suddenly quite ill and in need of a rest, but my dad assures me that it was totally worth the hike.
I think it's this way. Sorry, buddy. Oh shit, this is the place. The high place of sacrifice. Channels. Nobody's exactly sure who built it. Oh boy, now that's ominous, isn't it? Hell of a vision. Now that boy's tired. No, I saw him. He's moving his ears. This is awesome. This is so freaking awesome. Yeah, probably because of the overhang.
Let's get serious for a sec here. I'm going to be a little emotionally vulnerable with y'all. See, throughout this trip I spent a lot of time thinking about the past. Lots of what would it be like to see this place in its prime, and what was life like for the people who did. And I sort of jokingly entertained the possibility of time travel being discovered in my lifetime and me somehow getting stuck in Nabatean Jordan. It was fun, good for a few laughs, but when I saw this tomb, simple, nondescript, and sitting alone at the far end of a quiet wadi with far more interesting places to see farther up, I couldn't shake the feeling that it was exactly how I would want my tomb to look, and exactly where I would choose to put it. I couldn't shake the feeling that this was my tomb, and suddenly the joke felt a little too real. I obviously know and knew that it was silly, but it's not every day you get an opportunity to see your own grave with you in it, you know? So for just a moment, I allowed myself to indulge in the fantasy. I walked up those steps with every intention of facing irrefutable proof of my own mortality. And when I stepped inside, I was almost surprised to find nothing at all. My tomb was like all the others, empty niches and bare walls, no markings left to identify who had been there, no secret inscriptions that only I would understand, no aggressively anachronistic sarcophagus depicting me winking, nothing. After taking in the simple room, along with a deep breath, I returned to my dad, leaving the fantasy in the tomb behind me.
Yeah? What'd you find? Cool, what hot, buddy?
interior of the tomb of the Roman soldier is fucking huge as far as tombs go, by the way. Just thought you should know.
Wow. Holy shit. And an antechamber. Yeah, this is a hell of a sight. Hell of a vision.
No problem. We're all humans. We don't stick together. What the hell's the point?
Indeed. Just nothing. Nothing can prepare you for the scale.
It's right here at the start, and it's in such amazing shape.
Yep.
Nice.
As we mentally prepared ourselves to leave at the end of our last day in Petra, I kept thinking, what if we just stay? As silly as it is, I simply wasn't ready to leave. There are plenty of tombs we could stay in where no one would find us. What if we just stay? But I knew we couldn't. So much like my own tomb, I took one last look at the treasury and turned towards the as-Siq, leaving the fantasy and view of the treasury behind me. I'm sure I'll pick it up again next time I visit. How could I ever really be ready to leave?